Dr. Leo, tell us about you first because some people might not know who you are. So go for it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. First, very glad work with Robin this time for the webinar. And, she was talking this like 2 months ago. I think it's good time just in November, and we can uh, know more each other and give a talk about. So the topic will be like how to extract herbs. I will give a little bit introduction myself during the presentation, right after beginning the presentation. So can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes. Yes.
Can everybody see the PowerPoint?
Now just
Okay.
just
Okay, yeah, thank you, everybody. So I see, yeah, I think it's a lot of people has experience with this. So we may can go a little bit quicker on the presentation. The list of the content. So there will be general two parts. The first part I focus on the hydrosol and essential oil and how do we make them. I will go a little bit about its history, the development of the technology, and what is the difference in the chemical view, in the chemistry angle. What's the difference between the hydrosol and essential oil? And I will give a little demonstration. I will show a video I recorded already by using the ADI to make the lavender hydrosol and essential oil, so you can see how people make essential oil. Even this is a small scale, but the large scale working the same way. And the second part is about the infusion. The same thing I go through what is the infusion is and what's the difference between the different infusion, like infused oil and tincture. And the last, I gotta do a demo as well. So go to the first part. So first, let's talk about the definition. So hydrosol and essential oil, they both are made at the same time during the distillation from normally aromatic plants. But generally for hydrosol, you can make from any plants. Essential oil is not, but some plants has more, some plants has less, some has very rare. So that's why you don't see a lot of all kinds of essential oil. The process can make the products in two parts. One is the essential oil, that is a pure concentrated aromatic extract, and hydrosol is a water-based distillate. It contains the gentle and the water-soluble compounds. There's a little short video just showing you here's the device. It's called an oil separator. You can see on top that is oil. That's a lavender essential oil floating on top the hydrosol. And so I want to go to a little bit history. I don't know how many people like history. I hope it's not too boring. So I bring some pictures. There are three generations of this technology. One started from like 1,500 years ago, and then during the kind of the 800 or 1,500 years ago period of time, that's Olympic. A lot of people may heard about this term, and then the more closer to the modern time. Of course, then we have our modern technology. So in the really old time, like almost 5,000 years ago, the distillation technology was invented by Persians. So they used like a clay jar, two piece. One is the top is the cover, and the bottom is like they holding the liquid and material down here, but they have a ring, they have an edge, and when they heat it up, so it's boiling, and then when they go to the top, they air cooled, and then they drip down, flow down to the edge. That's where they collect their rose water. They use that as a perfume at the time. It's interesting, people still love the rose water now. So this is a jar I have in my room. It's actually, if you look at the shape, it's almost identical with the one I just show you here. But we use that to make the fermented vegetables, but not use as a boiler anymore. And it's if you know more chemistry, you heard about like a oxalate extraction. Oxalate extraction is a process to kind of like do the infusion, but normally like water infusion, you can concentrate, you can make a very concentrated infusion by using this device. How it works is at the bottom flask, you can add the water in there, or you use other like a solvent, organic solvent, alcohol. So you boil them, and those solvent go up, and they will cool down when you touch the condensation, and they drip back into the middle column. From this picture, that's a glass one. So when you use it, actually there will be a little perforated container inside the cube, and then you put your herb material inside there. So the benefit is every time when you boil, most of them just water. So you kind of keep using the fresh water to extract the herb. And then when they become extracted, they will go back to the container. So that's how you can make your very concentrated, you can think about like a coffee, but you make a very concentrated coffee. It's quite similar with the jar methods in the beginning, but obviously their shape and are different now. And the Alembic period time, so the Arabs they design a special the head. So the head has a better cooling function, and they also have a neck. The neck can lead the distillate out. So you remember the last one, you have to open the cap, and you either pour the distillate from the ring. But this one, they make like you can continuously collecting the rose water. You don't have to stop it in the middle. So that makes the whole production more efficient. And that's why I think that's why people still remember the Alembic name. And later on, this called a Rosenhot. It's already quite similar what we have now. So you can see on the ground they have the black charcoal. That's their fuel, and on the left side that's their flowers. So they put the flower in the middle, and then they heat up. He's blowing the air to make the hotter, so they can accelerate the distillation. But they all using the same way, like the little hat. That's air cooled, so they're air cooled and then collect all the hydrosol and even essential oil. So the chart here, it shows the technology development. The first one is like the one we just see, and then the alembic head they come in, and later on adding the water so to help to cool down. And this is pretty much where we are now. And the other the same thing, to kind of develop a different route. So they were using a pot with water on top and use a bowl here. I don't know, you guys have heard of like a reverse lead method. A lot of people just use a pot, boil the herb, and put a little cup in the middle and reverse the lid, and then that's like a home way. And they also kind of upgraded by adding a little spoon to continuously leading the distillate out of that. So I have a video talk about the thing. If you don't have a still at home, how to make the rose water, you can use a pot. This is a steamer pot. So you have a water as a bottom layer, and the middle layer you can add your flower here and put your bowl here, and then you put the cover reverse and on top, and you can add an ice cube on top here. But the same thing, it's a batch mode. That means you have to open the lid and take the bowl out and collect it. It's not continuously. It's more like this way. And this is the picture I took when I visit China. So they are making the alcohol. What they do is they put the cold water here, and then they have this. You see the tube. They have a little kind of spacing facing right middle to the bottom of the cooling unit, and then collect the dripping liquid. So it can make a little bit more efficient. And this one is alembic. You can see that online, but it's just follow the shape. In the old time, they use this as air cool, but this one they actually use a separate condenser, so you can add a water or ice cube here. But during the distillation, the condenser is taking the heat out of the steam. So that's why you gotta use a lot of like a cold water or ice cube in this condenser to cool down. So that's the picture I show you in the beginning. You can see when you collecting the distillate, you will have this one is lavender. So you can see the lavender essential oil floating on top. The hydrosol is here. So during the work, because you will collect more hydrosol than essential oil, so this device can keep leading the hydrosol out, and you're gonna need a little cup to collect the hydrosol here, and so the oil can keep collecting, inside the tube. When you finish, so you open this little valve here, and then you drain the liquid, the hydrosol first, until you reach the essential oil, and then you separate them. I have a video. I'll show you the video. It's a step-by-step video. So let's go back, see the difference. So first, hydrosol and essential oil are made at the same time during the distillation. So they all collecting the volatile compounds. So volatile compounds, that's where we smell the scent of the herb. And essential oil is a concentrated aromatic extract. It's mainly contain terpenes, alcohol, ester, aldehyde, ketones, and phenols. And hydrosol is already C, so that is a water-based. Most of them is water, but it also grab those water-soluble the compounds like the alcohol, esters, and the ketones. So those can dissolve into the hydrosol. And so what is the difference? Here's the chemistry of the lavender, the Lavandula angustifolia, essential oil, and hydrosol. So in lavender essential oil, this is the English lavender. Linalool is one of the major compound. It take about 30%. Linoleic acetate is more, it's around 40%. And the kaffir depends on the breed of the lavender. English lavender has a pretty low kaffir, but lavandin has a much higher. It can reach like 10%. And 1-8-Cinel, it's a small amount. It has another name, this chemical called eucalypto. So from the name of the eucalypto, you can tell it's mostly come from the eucalyptus. And because of their solubility in the water is different, so the hydrosol has a different the profile as essential oil. So in the hydrosol, linalool has a pretty good solubility, so they can reach 0.15%. But a linoleic acetate, that is very low. And eucalyptus is low because the nature is low, and camphor can dissolve a lot, so 0.1%. So you can see that because the chemical composition is different between the hydrosol and essential oil, you will normally feel like even their scent will be different, their smell will be different between the oil and the hydrosol. But they both have their own benefits. For example, the linalool, they have the calming, they are antimicrobial, they have anti-inflammatory benefits. Lino acetate brings the floral scent, it have relax and soothing. And eucalyptus is great for the airway, it's antiseptic, and the camphor can help improve the circulation. It's also a mild stimulant. So when we compare the hydrosol with essential oil, so hydrosol we talk about around 0.1%. That's the concentration of the phytochemicals within it. It's great for your regular and daily use, and because it's water phase, so it's easy to use, easy to carry. It's friendly with sensitive skin, with a pet, animals, child. A lot of my customers, they use the hydrosol for the animal, to treat the animals. And also because it's a mild, so it's a very popularly used on the skin, hair, body, or even you can add in the drink like tonic drink, or add in the food. Essential oil, so you normally need to dilute it to 1% for your regular use, and you use a carrier oil, not water. So because they have a different chemical composition, so they have their own like benefits. So my favorite hydrosol, so there are two ways. One is I use in the car and driving as a facial spray, and also I like use the lavender hydrosol as a mouthwash. So this can help soothe the throat. I have the blogs on the website. You can read about the like two example, like a best hydrosol for the different parts of the body, and a hydrosol for the health. There's a link on that. You can just go to the blog section on the website. You will see a lot, yeah, the blogs there. I also have a book. It talk about the hydrosol, the ebook, hydrosol for life. It's free when you purchase online on our website. I show you a little bit information. There's a page talk about hydrosol for skincare, for the sensitive skin. The best hydrosol including the chamomile, calendula, rose, lavender. There's a gentle, soothing, and anti-redness. And some of the hydrosol are great for the mental support, reduce anxiety, the stress, all for just like a regular daily use, household, the daily use. So that's it. And this is one example page about like a rose hydrosol. In this chapter, we talk about the botanical name, and what part you use. For rose, obviously you use the flower, but for some others, like rose geranium is wonderful. So to use the leaf, so you can make a very wonderful like rose-like hydrosol, and their uses. Here I'm gonna show you a video. You can watch how to use ADI to make a hydrosol and essential oil, including how to set up and the ratios. Now I'm gonna demonstrate you how to make hydrosol and essential oil. I'm using lavender today. So the first step is add water in the pot. I'm doing steam distillation. That means water at the bottom and the lavender bud will sit on top of the water.
And the benefits of using the steam distillation is you don't worry about the ratio. You start with like how much water you're adding compared with the flour you use, because all the steam will go through the flour, go through the herb. And now just add a 2 liter of the water. The question is, a lot of people ask what water they can use. You can use natural water, like well water, or rainwater, river water. They have a good quality because those water doesn't have a chlorine. I'm using the city water, but if you want to use the city water, it's okay. Just use either a filter water. I'm using filter water today. The filter you choose, it can help remove the chlorine, those volatile things from the water that may go into your hydrosol. So change the profile of your hydrosol. So that's the reason. Or you can use ADI machine to make a distilled water. Just use a city water and put in the pot, and then just turn on the distill and make a distilled water. That's perfect fine. And the distilled water will be collected in this box. So you can use this water and put it back into the pot for your hydrosol making. So first add a 2 liter of water. You can add up to 3 liter. There's a mark in the bowl, so that's the number is showing how much water in there. And again, so I'm doing steam distilled water. You can also do hydrodistillation. That means you can submerge your rose or flower or the flowers you have, submerging the water, and then put this on top. So this can help push the flower, under the water during the distillation. So when you do hydrodistillation, the ratio is a 5:1. 5 part of the water and 1 part of the flour. And then just adding the lavender buds. We have these dry lavender buds in our store. You can order it. This is a wonderful local made dry lavender buds. You can make a good amount of essential oil. I will show you, after during the distillation. Generally, you don't want to add flour more than the line, the handlebar, the hole here. So this is a good amount. And also when we do the distillation, ask should we pack it? We don't need. You want to have a little space for the steam can go through. So just loosely.
We lost the sound.
A very small amount.
There you go.
When
Now
you are
it's
making
okay.
the hydrosol, the oil start collecting with time. And this small tube just keep collecting all the oil here. Because the oil normally, most of the essential oils are lighter than water. They will flow on top here. And at the same time, the hydrosol will come out from the side tubing, and then it will just keep collecting the hydrosol. And this valve at the bottom, so we need to close it in the beginning, just so the hydrosol and oil won't go down right away. So we just need a tubing to connect from the outlet of the ADI into the oil separator. This is the whole set. The whole set comes with a separator, a stand, and the tubing with a little clamp. The clamp side go to the nozzle and then close it and push this side on top of the glass, separator. Then this whole thing is set up. So while the operating, we need a container to collect the hydrosol from the side tubing of the separator. So that's the whole thing. It's ready. So I set the timer at 1 hour 15 minutes. I expect to collect around a liter of the hydrosol. I'll show you how much oil I get. It's very simple to just set up and turn on. And the fan will be on when you distill because you need to cool down the steam and back into the liquid. But when you do infusion, it's a low temp, warm infusion process. The fan will not work and everything will stay here. So here's essential oil. That's from the dry lavender buds. You've got quite a good amount of the essential oil. And the bottom is the hydrosol. The fresh made hydrosol, especially when you have essential oil, you normally can see like cloudy hydrosol. That's very good. The other benefits while making hydrosol, it's a fresh made. No additives, no artificial chemicals. Everything we got from here just from the water and the herb. So that's all we have. So we exactly know what's in the hydrosol we are using for ourselves, for the customers, friends, family, and even pets. So we know what we are using. This is like a fresh made food, rather than you buy like a canned food or fast food. So this is exactly you cook from a fresh vegetable, fresh meat, like that, the fresh food. But this is the fresh made hydrosol. So I will let it go until collecting about a liter of the hydrosol. I can stop it or just let it stop by itself. So this is after hour. You can see how much oil I got. It's more than 10 milliliter. And the other thing I want to show you is this hydrosol. You can see the cloudy hydrosol. That's the best, fresh made hydrosol. The cloudy because there are a small amount of the oil dispersed in there, and that make the hydrosol is more potent. Again, just want to show you the machine. And remember that I set at like hour 50, so it's already hour 10 minutes past. So one more thing I want to talk is about the box. This box is made by PP, the food grade. PP is commonly used as like drinking the cups or some, the food storage. It's very resistant, the chemical resistant. It stays stable in the essential oil, but it's recommended for just temporary collection. When you make hydrosol, you can just directly put in there. That's receive everything in the box, and right after, you can transfer into a bottle. The glass bottle, you can transfer them into. Or if you expect to receive oil, because when you have this, the oil will disperse on top in such a large space, then make it harder, make it really hard to collect, no matter what way you use, it's really hard to collect them. But because the separator, it has this structure that makes the oil, keep collecting with time, and that thing you can easily separate, like the valve at the bottom. That's how I'm gonna show you how to separate the oil. I decided to just finish the distillation. What you can do, even during the operation, what you can do to stop it is use the start-stop button. Don't use the on-off button, because the on-off will shut down everything. The start-stop button, it can stop the heating, but keep the fan running, so the residue steam will cool down. All you need to do is long press the button. You will hear a beep and also see the flashing the red light on top. So that means your process is stopped. That especially the heating will stop, but not the fan. You can see the fan is still running. This help cool down all the residues, the steams. So just give a little time, normally 5 minutes, and then we can shut off the power. You can also see there's no more, hydrosol, only a little bit. That's the residue I talk about. So they are coming out, but not like constantly coming out. Now after 5 minutes, you can just manually turn off. So after you turn off, so everything goes back, and eventually this little red line will disappear as well. I will separate the oil to show you how to do that. You need a little container using a beaker to collect the hydrosol. And then when the hydrosol finish, only the oil left in the tube, then you're gonna need the oil bottle for your essential oil. I have some oil left. It's a little bottle. It's about that much. So I will show you after, how much I get after this. So first, just open this valve at the bottom. Just let the hydrosol coming out. You can do it slowly. Let it go through. When you're getting too close to the end, slow down by closing the valve a little bit, so let the hydrosol move. And you can do a little shake, just gently, very little shake. And sometimes you just close it and do more shake. Just let the hydrosol coming out, all of them coming out. Some of them can left here, just shaking it. Just be careful, you don't want your bottle, you don't want to knock down your bottle. Just take away the bottle before you shake it. And then just keep draining it until the oil touch the line. And here I want to show you the hydrosol I have. You see that, the cloudy hydrosol? So that's a good hydrosol, the fresh made hydrosol. You don't see that from the old hydrosol. And now I can collect all the oil into this bottle. So it was about here. Just do the same thing like hydrosol, but just keep the bottle facing the drain hole. It will be a little bit left in the glass. A few drops. It's not a big deal. So now you can see how much oil in there. So it was here. It's almost like a half bottle of this. So that's definitely over 10 milliliter of the oil I collected. It's a lavender essential oil. So let me show you what it looked like after you distill the herb. It's very interesting. You will see, the herb after the distill. For this one, mostly the color changed, and of course the scent it lose a lot. But the very interesting part is it's still not as wet as you think. Like a boiling. It's kind of just damp, but you can see it's still like individual pieces. It's not like they clump that they stick together. That's a good steam distillation because the steam just in and out, so they don't stay there for a long time. And the herb after distill, you can just use that to compost. I just dump into the garden bed. That's wonderful, for the soil because they still have some benefit from the herbs. This can be easily absorbed by the soil.
Okay. So that's the demonstration about using the ADI to make the hydrosol essential oil. Now let's go to the second part about infusion. So infusion is solvent extraction process. We normally use like water, alcohol, glycerin, or oil. Because of the property of the solvents, so they are drawing different kind of the compounds out of the herb, and they leading to their teas, tinctures, glycerine, and infused oil. Glycerin is kind of people see that as similar as alcohol in the chemical structure. It does show some similarity, but the glycerin is way bigger. That make it's more kids friendly and tastes sweet. So what do we get from the different infusion like water? The water is a high polarity solvent, so it can extract the alkaloid, glycoside, the tannin. The tannin is the bitter taste. That's why your tea or a lot of the water extract tastes the bitter. It also have the vitamin like vitamin C and flavonoids. Alcohol, the ethanol itself, has low polarity, so it can extract both the polar and non-polar compounds, including the alkaloids, terpenes. Terpenes exist in the essential oil, phytochemicals, that's antioxidants, and the resins. So resin like your frankincense, then you can use alcohol to dissolve the resins. And glycerin is a mild polarity, but because it's a large molecule, so it extracts less compounds, mostly like flavonoids, glycoside, and some of the phenol antioxidants. And the oil normally use like olive oil, jojoba oil, or coconut oil. Those are the non-polar, and they dissolve the fat soluble the compounds, including a bit of essential oil, carotenoids, chlorophyll. So the benefit when you're doing the infuse with oil, you not only take a benefit from the herb, but also the oil itself. So the oil has, for example, like olive oil, they have their omega and the vitamins. So those are great for skincare or massage oil. Compare between the tincture, the lavender pink tincture, and the lavender infused oil. The tincture has the organic acid, like rosmarinic acid. Those are great antioxidants. They have anti-inflammation. Turmeric, they have the wound healing. The flavonoids have the neuroprotective and triterpenes, antimicrobial. And in the infused oil, you have chlorophyll that brings the green color. It's antioxidants, anti-inflammation, beta carotene, and skin nourishing and protective, and phytosterols support the skin barrier, and also the vitamins. Most of the vitamins can dissolve in oil. So that's why the infused oil is great for the skin, but the tincture can be used both inside and outside. And here's a video that's showing you
Now I'm
how
gonna
to
show you
use
how to do
ADI to the infusion.
with ADI. I'm gonna do 2 different infusions in one run. I'm using the turmeric powder for infusion. I'm gonna do oil infusion with extra virgin olive oil and a tincture with vodka. So the first question, so when we make infusion, we need to decide the ratio. The general ratio is 1 to 5. So when we're using the dry material, the ratio is 1 part of the herb and 5 part of the solvent. Solvent can be either the oil or the alcohol. I'm using the 8-ounce bottle. 8 ounce is perfect for ADI to fit in. And the 8-ounce bottle is about 240 milliliter. I like to use a milliliter because that makes it easy to calculate. For the dry powder, it's 1 to 5. That means total is 6 part. 1 part is herb and 5 part is a solvent. So 240 milliliter, that is a 40. That means we use 40 grams of the turmeric powder, turmeric root powder. So I have my weight, zero it. And turmeric powder is a very yellow. If you don't like the color go on your hand, you can use a glove to protect, just prevent, the powder go on the hand. This is a very fine powder. So it's the powder can make the infusion more efficient, but it make your separation. So after finish, we need to separate the powder from the solvent. So that makes the separation a little bit harder than the pieces, the pieces materials, herbs. So as I said, we need 40 grams. That actually a lot. See that? That's 40 grams. So you can see you almost take like 1/3, like 1/3 of the cup. If you use like a looser material, like the leaves, you gotta add a lot, like almost a full cup. So this is like a general ratio. Of course, you can use different ratios. Just make it easy, just adding the same amount as the other cup. So one for the oil, one for the tincture. Now I have the turmeric in the bottle, this one for the tincture making. Tincture is hydroalcohol extraction. Normally we use about 40% or 6 to 60% the alcohol. So it's extracting, including the polar solvent and also the water soluble. And what we do here is after the alcohol in, give it time, especially for this powder. Give time, just let the bubble come up. Give a good stir. Now add more alcohol. And another stir. Infusion is a solvent extraction, just like a tea making. Have a good contact between the herb and the solvent. It's very important. So especially when you're using the powder, you gotta do spend a little more time on this preparation. It's good. And then just close. When you're using the ADI, and this is like a bottle method, it's like a water bath method, you need to use a seal jar. You need a mason jar and the canning jar. So the jar has to be able go through the high temperature. The second bottle is the oil infusion. So I'm using the olive oil, the actual virgin olive oil. Same thing, it's just poured in. That was a little bit modified oil infusion method. So what it does is add a little bit of alcohol in the beginning before adding the oil. So that way you can. Its technical term is called a wetting. So make the herb kind of get ready, to be soaked by the oil. So we do the same thing. Stir it. Oil is a little bit different than the alcohol. Just give a good stir. Same thing, just let the powder has a good contact with the oil and soak well. So it's actually not too difficult to let the turmeric separate the oil. It's very easy. Just compare with the alcohol, it's thicker. So the solvent oil, right? It's a little bit thicker. Again, just stir it. Close bottle. Now the 2 bottles are ready for the infusion with ADI. There are 2 methods. One method is today I'm going to show you is the water bath method. The benefit of this one, like here, I'm making 2 different infusion in one run. Just put the bottle in and add water and soak to the half of the, minimum is half of the bottle. So that water can help warm up and accelerate the infusion. The other way is a direct infusion. You can add everything in the pot. If you want to make like a large quantity, 1 liter, 2 liter, so you can just directly add in the pot. But for the regular personal use or even just for shop use, I highly recommend you do this water bath method. So you can make multiple batches in one run, and also you can always use the fresh infusion. Flowers is normally good for the infusion, including the tincture and infused oil. So it saves you a lot of time compared, 4 to 6 weeks. It's a pretty efficient process. Okay, so I'm going to show you after the 5 hours how it look and then how to separate them. Separate the oil and the tincture from the powder. Okay, let me show you what it is. First one, the tincture. This one's oil. So we use a press to separate the infusion from the herb. This one is I have an extra layer of the mash bag on top. So first let me separate the oil. But look at the oil, the color of the oil. You can see it already show like the golden yellow color. Just to press it. Now separate the tincture. Show you the tincture. Tincture is a little cloudy. But I do see the tincture color is like a golden yellow, beautiful golden yellow color. So that's the same. So when you're making the powder infusion, especially the fine powder is pretty common. You will have some leftover powder in the tincture and also the infused oil.
Okay, so that's the how to make the tincture infused oil with ADI. I do have read a book about tincture of the there are 48 different herbs, like the lavender. The goal I write this book is I want to make it more like a practical. For example, here you can see the parts to use for the infusion and the functional compounds and when you harvest for the best the outcome and how to make the tincture, the ratio of the dry or fresh, and the research back the benefits of this the herb. A little summary of today's talk. We talk about the distillation and infusion of the herb. So when we make the essential oil through the distillation, so we are extracting the volatile compound that's oil phase, and it's a lavender essential oil. I talk about like a linalool. That's one of the major compound. It has a calming antimicrobial, or linoleic acetate. It has a relaxing benefits. The kaffir 1-HCl. The hydrosol is made in the same way, but it's a water soluble compounds in the water. It's wonderful, like the skin toner. It's a cooling mist, and it's antiseptic, anti-inflammation, antimicrobial. It's wonderful, like a skincare. And infusion, we talk about the alcohol. It's called a hydroalcohol extraction. That's pretty much most of the people do. That means you're using not like a pure alcohol. You're using the 40% or 80 proof alcohol. That's extracting the water soluble and the alcohol soluble compounds. And the oil, you are extracting the oil soluble. That's like chlorophyll, steroids, vitamins. Those are great for skincare, massaging. So the last, I already showed you this. So that's the idea. When you after the distillation, you already see the herb. It's the herb is not like mushy like you boil it. It's kind of still in piece. It's in its shape. So because you just extract the volatile part, you can still do another infusion just by using this material. If you really want like a fully extract them, and that's the way you can do, especially for the precious herbs, you can do this way. But not all the herbs you can do this, because some of the herbs they can change, like the resin, they will change after your distillation. But for the stems, the branches, you can still do the infusion after this. Okay, yeah, that's today's talk. It's about different methods to extract the herbs and what products you can make.